Yep, it makes total sense. Can we briefly talk about some of the benefits that companies in the industry experience having this standards, certifications, compliances?
Yeah, I mean, the benefits and the upside are really, almost very hard, challenging to put into the bank beforehand because they tend to be contingent as opposed to real. In other words, it's not like you're going to pay out money in advance because of a requirement. But if you haven't followed the requirement all the way through at the very end, and now you can't get your asset commissioned because you can't demonstrate you met and did the compliance, now your asset is on hold. You need to retrofit it. You may have dismissed your crews. Now you got to call them all back. You got to mobilize work. You got to do retrofits and remediations. Extremely costly if by that point. So compliance is low cost, provided you get it done up front in the design level, where you get your requirements in and then you work them through, and exceptionally costly when you don't. So the benefit is measured in things like low or very low remediation costs, lower insurance premiums because you can demonstrate compliance. If you can't demonstrate or prove, you've got an issue. When or if you decide to sell those assets, or you wish to go buy assets, if the counterparties can't prove that the asset was built to standard and complies with regulations and you can show the life cycle, you can discount the value of that asset. Now, this is starting to show up in the carbon world. If somebody wants to buy an asset and it's a carbon emitter, then the value of that asset is going to go down unless the parties can show or agree that the carbon levels are lower than expected, or that the mitigations are working, or what have you. So it actually detracts from value. Similarly, if you can demonstrate that your asset was built to the standard, the valuation of it is much higher, or can be higher. So those are where you typically see in my mind, you see it. Lower construction costs because the way you're building it. Lower costs of insurance because you can prove that you're not as great an insurance risk. Better valuation of that asset when and if the time comes for you to monetize it, either by selling it or what have you. And I'm sure there's all kinds of others, but those would be big economic ones that would really, really be factors, I would think.